crossing the road here. Now make sure you are safe seated, guys. We'll go right past it just a second. Now the greater kudu, these all look like females, and I say that because they do not have horns. Only the male greater kudu actually have horns. So you can see them there. But I think we have, well, look down there in the water. There's some of those hippos. Now when you have a group of hippos together like that, it's not called a herd. It's referred to as a bloat. So does a bloat of hippo. Now the hippo also can only hold their breath under the water for about 5 to 8 minutes at a time. So that's why they a lot of times will keep their face up towards the surface of the water so that they can breathe. Now as we come around, we are about to go over a pretty old bridge, so make sure everyone does stay seated for me, because look down there to your left-hand side. You're going to see some Nile crocodile down there. Now the Nile crocodile is a cold-blooded reptile, and those jaws are extremely powerful. They can actually crush the bones of their prey at about 2,000 pounds per square inch. Now they also do get up to about 20 feet long, so that is definitely not an animal on. So that's why we are going to keep moving here. But we're now going to start making our way over towards the Serengeti grasslands. Now tree. And that's because it looks like its root system is growing out of the top. But it's actually going to go leafless there for about 9 months out of the year. And that's to help conserve water in its extremely large trunk. Entire savanna. Now it reaches for miles and it acts as a superhighway for animals that are on migration. But we're going to go ahead and make our way down to the bottom of this hill so we can find some animals that call this area home. Now over here on your right hand side there is a giraffe on the other side of these rocks here. Now the giraffe is the tallest land mammal in the world. They can reach up to about 20 feet tall. Also, no two giraffe will ever have the same spot pattern. Their spots are completely unique to them. So you can see the giraffe over here. So there are a couple more giraffe over here on the right hand side, so we'll be coming around and getting a look at them as well. The tall grasses. So those mounts are quite useful out here from time to time. So you can look out there to the right, there are some more of those giraffes. You can get a look at them as we go by. They blend in extremely well with their surroundings, despite having bright blue and red markings on their faces and on their bottoms. Now monkeys are extremely social creatures, and actually if you've ever seen them picking bugs off of one another, that is a grooming activity, but it's also a social bonding activity. By picking bugs off of one another, they're strengthening the bonds among the group. So it's the same idea as if we went out to dinner with our friends. Oh, they're running in the bed. Well, let's keep going. Now we are going to keep going down towards the... Oh, now as you come around here, over on your left-hand side, you are going to see some flamingo. Now these are the greater flamingos, so they're the lightest pink of all the flamingo species. Now the flamingo are actually born a gray color, and after about a year, they'll turn pink. But do you guys happen to know what turns the flamingo pink? Shrimp! The shrimp they eat, that's right. They eat a brine shrimp, and that contains the mineral beta-carotene, so that'll turn on that nice pink color. Oh, but look over here to your right-hand side. You're going to see some sable antelope there. Now, the sable antelope, the darker colored ones, are the males. The lighter colored ones are the females and the young. And those horns they have, they can get up to about 5 feet in length. Now, just a little bit more about about the flamingos, actually, I like this. Actually, we don't call this a flock of flamingo here. Nope. They're actually known as a flamboyant of flamingo.
Flamboyant of flamingo. I love that.
Flamboyant.
That first tree. Now the cheetah is the fastest land mammal in the world. They can reach up to speeds of about 60 miles an hour or more. Now even though they are fast, the cheetah's only a sprinter. They can only run at those fast speeds for about a quarter of a mile before they'll have to stop or slow down. And that's because they will simply overheat. Actually, as we come around here, you might be able to see them a little bit better if you lion. Now lion really like these rocks, and that's because they're nice and warm from the sun. But also, they can look out over the land to see what could be for dinner. Speaking of dinner, though, it is the female lioness who will do all of the hunting, while the male lion does stay back to protect the pride. And a pride is what you call a group of lions. But you guys on the ground, and they'll create these holes that you see. These holes are called burrows, and the warthog is the largest burrowing animal in Africa.
Warthog.
You can also get a good look here at some of those zebra that we saw, and you can see that there is that bontabak. There's a couple bontabak over here on your right. Please stay seated for me, guys.
Fê, olha pra mamãe aqui. Olha pra mamãe que eu tiro como aqui.
As I was mentioning before, the ostrich is the largest bird in the animal kingdom. They have extremely long legs, but unfortunately they do have these really little wings, so they can't fly. But the ostrich will run. They can run up to speeds of about 40 miles an hour. The addax is typically a desert-dwelling animal, and they will go almost their entire lives without drinking water. They will get all the water that they need from the vegetation that they eat. Now, unfortunately, the addax is considered to be critically endangered. There are less than 1,000 of them on reserves and less than 300 of them in the wild. So they are thought to be an animal species and unfortunately will not be around much longer. Alright guys, well we are going to go ahead and start